Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to another live stream. Everyone's talking about the tariffs. You're wondering about the title. No, that's a real title. I mean, that's what happened. They gave up. They had to agree to what Trump wanted. But you're right. It might only just be part one. Someone said it was still just part one. He's going to continue using tariffs until he gets an economic union. But what does that look like? What does an economic union exactly look like? Does it involve acquiring territory in either Canada or Mexico? We'll have to see. But I'm just glad for the markets and everything like that. It's a tough day for the markets. It's the final leg down, I think. $30-day trial, see what happens. I know. I mean, I guess Trump is gonna check in and see how well they do in terms of their pledges, because they pledged certain things like sending troops to the border and investing in money to curb fentanyl. You love my channel? I appreciate that. Your name is Trump Daddy One. It's not a surprising name. Stalling tactics. I don't know, but I really wouldn't call it stalling. I mean, they agreed to what Trump wanted. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna add any of those states, man. There's no way. Mexico, adding Mexico would come with some big problems, and it wouldn't. You don't want them voting. Did Canada withdraw 25% tariff? All the tariffs got withdrawn. It's like an agreement. They pledged $1.3 billion to the border, along with a fentanyl czar, an expert on fentanyl tracking, I guess, like a delegated unit to it, basically. We need a word on bloodthirsty Redditors with Elon derangement syndrome sending death threats to Doge employees. They need to be investigated by the FBI. Good luck with that. I was surprised people were, that's pretty normal behavior from Reddit. People should not be surprised by that, with them doing that. I know Musk tweeted it out, so it got some pretty big. By the way, look at this. U.S. Air Force intelligence aircraft have entered Mexican airspace after Mexico agreed to cooperate in fighting the cartels. Is this real? Mexico agreed, because originally they said, no, we're not going to help you. We're an independent country. Total victory for Trump. His approval rating is going to 60%. Yeah, I don't know if his approval rating is going to change a ton within the next few weeks, honestly. I mean, right now, I think it's like 55, 56%. You know what? I wonder if 538 has Trump's approval. Wow, they still don't have that? They just have favorability. Favorability and approval are different. Oh, here it is. Yeah, they do have it. They do have Trump right now. Yeah, they've got him at 49%. They're very liberal. I mean, they have a decent amount of polls here. But, I mean, +5 is obviously very good, no matter, compared to where Trump was. Very early approval rating. Do you think tariffs could ultimately get rid of heavily reduce income tax? Well, I think that's what Trump is going for. Whether or not it'll work, I don't know. I mean, originally I thought he was going to stonewall Canada and basically say, no, you're screwed. We're not going to come to an agreement. And maybe that still is the case if it's just a month-long thing. But yeah, the idea would be if you tariff other countries heavily, you're able to generate significant revenue from the tariffs. I mean, right now the problem with the income taxes, the income tax, it generates $2 trillion for U.S. revenue. So if you get rid of that, you need to you can use Doge and other assets to limit government spending, which would bring that $2 trillion down. And if you tariff every other country, that's gonna, because right now it's like 1/20th in terms of getting to the $2 trillion, because it's like you'd have to replace the $2 trillion that the U.S. generates from the income tax through tariffs. But right now it's only 1/20th of the $2 trillion. So you'd have to ramp up the tariffs and then cut the government spending somewhere if you want to totally eliminate the income tax. Go to Real Clear Politics. Yeah, you're right. Real Clear Politics has some really favorable Trump polls. I know that. Really, election 2025 to 22. Man, they got this. You know what? I wonder if they have the pollster scorecard updated for 2024. No, they still don't have that. They're just not going to update it. Trump is sitting plus basically the same. Basically the exact same as 538. Yeah, once that insider advantage gets off, it's gonna go down maybe a little bit. But there's just some good polls, +7, +8. Quinnipiac +3. Is the 51st state off the table? Well, no, I never thought the 51st state was going to happen, but basically it's just delayed for a month, and then we'll see. Trump delayed the tariffs for a month because they agreed to more money invested along the border to curb the stop of fentanyl and other things, and Mexico basically did the same thing. But he'd say it's a 30-day period until the 1st of March 1st. You better thank a union member. That was a great quote. Do you fuck with Yi? I mean, not really, dude. I mean, you're gonna have your wife show up nude. I just find that extremely odd. Happy to see your channel going strong post-election. Yeah. I mean, I knew my channel would tail off some just because that's what happens. But I mean, my channel was good enough before really any of this politics, anyways. But then I just shifted heavily into politics, and so it's like I'm trying to. Most of my content is politics still, and it probably will stay that way. I mean, I did a poll, and it was like 75% now people watch me for politics mainly. So, I mean. Thoughts on Raw R? I don't even know what that is, that coin, bro. Conservative leader of Canada said he wants some of our military at the border. Yeah, he's trying to show the Canadians that he's a badass and stuff. Well, this is like a galvanizing moment for Canada because they view it as like an attack by America and stuff. So it's more of like a conservative type moment for them to where they galvanize together and have some type of national unity. Thoughts on U.S. aid? Yeah, I saw that 97% of the donations went to Democrats. Just crazy. How about the crypto roller coaster? Yeah, I know. That was a really bad day. There's no doubt about that, man. There's no doubt. Do you think the army helicopter that crashed was remote controlled? I mean, I don't know, man. I didn't even. I mean, there's always going to be conspiracy theories. A lot of it's bullshit, honestly, dude. Like that, people are just going to say shit. H5N1, you're still in that coin. That's not even that bird flu. You know, knock on wood. That's not even a thing, bro. Let's hope. Do you have Canadian viewers? I had like one Canadian view. Yeah, I've got a few. A few of them like Trump. Then one of them just kept being annoying yesterday, just spamming the Canadian flag emoji. I mean, that's fine if you like Canada, but we don't need the emoji spammed like 100 times. Thoughts on Eric Trump's tweet to buy Ethereum? Did you see he changed the tweet? Yeah, they're like, well, it's inside, it's illegal, you can't do that. He told people to buy Ethereum because he was getting his group was gonna buy up like millions of it. No, it's really good. Ethereum is inevitable. Yeah, Ethereum will go to 12K. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen. Like there's so many of these Solana like 10-year-old kids. It's just they don't understand. There's too much money in Ethereum. Even though even though Ethereum does have horrible gas fees and but there's just too much money. I mean they have base now. Rams announced Cooper Cup will be traded. He's pretty washed at this point, man. He's just injury prone. That's the problem. So I don't really know how much that. You bought Ethereum last night, made 15%. Well, yeah, Ethereum was definitely a good buying window last night. I mean, I wouldn't be buying Ethereum. I'd be buying alts, but I mean, yeah, Ethereum will do a 3 or 4x, I'd say. I'm surprised you're surprised there's no Trump coin on Ethereum. Well, I think their coin is going to be that financial world financial. They had a pre-sale but or they're having a pre-sale I saw. That's probably going to be their coin. It's like some world financial thing. Tulsi on Polymarket is like 95% because I saw an update because Susan Collins said she was supporting Tulsi. So yeah, Tulsi skyrocketed. Looks like she's basically a lock. Looks like they're all going to be confirmed, honestly, guys. Why is it 70 degrees in Ohio? Well, it's basically it's starting to turn to spring at this point, I think. But no, it wasn't 70 degrees. It was about 50 degrees. You think Trump made the world respect America a lot more today? But in your opinion, Trudeau also handled himself well, putting country over politics. Well, Trudeau's in a horrible spot. He's a lame duck, and these tariffs would be terrible for their country. You know, and that's it. You know, with the market and everything that happened, it's good to see them have a good chat and everything. What about Trump meme coin? You mean on Ethereum? It's just a bunch of fake bullshit on Ethereum. Trump doesn't have an official meme coin on Ethereum. That would be the ultimate grift after making one on Solana and make one on Ethereum. No, we don't. We got enough of those, man. We don't need any more of that. Do you think Trump will investigate further into his assassination attempt? I mean, I would imagine. You can only hope. Trudeau leaves March 9th, so about a month till he's gone. Well, then who is going to be in until? Isn't there election in October? That what currency is that? That's probably 1 cent. That's a problem with these other currencies. I appreciate that. This Polymarket is confirmation odds. If Trump discovers the left was behind the attempt, what happens next? Well, I mean, there was obviously something. Listen, it's not no there's no conspiracy needed. That event makes no sense. The assassination attempt and how it was done by a kid that weighs 110 pounds, and whoever got that kid to do it, I mean, it was obviously somebody that doesn't like Trump. How did Tulsi jump from below 50 to over 90? Long story short, honestly, like a rhino said they were going to confirm Tulsi. That it was a vote that people didn't think she was going to get. Liberals believe DEI had nothing to do with the recent plane accident. Well, they're lying to themselves. It was a female pilot on a Black Hawk helicopter. I mean, come on, like you're lying to yourself. But they're like, oh, she's credentialed. She had 400 flying hours. Apparently, that's not even much. I mean, it's like, what are we doing? No way, it was just that kid working alone. Oh, it's complete bullshit. It's complete bullshit. Yeah, this incel 110-pound kid is just gonna waltz up to a roof and just be able to just fire a clean shot right at Trump from close. You think the tariff will slowly fade away? Trump got enough from the neighbor to commit 10,000 troops. As for revenue, he'll focusing on tariffing China since they can't fight back. Well, you're right on that. The dynamic with China is different in terms of the tariffs, just because location and also, Mexico and Canada are number one and number two trading partners, and also a lot of the stuff that comes in from China is like, it's bullshit anyways. It's badly produced. Do you have a favorite Super Bowl player prop? Oh, dude, I don't know, honestly. I would say I always I like it being a higher scoring game. I would say AJ Brown over 82. I don't know how many yards, but AJ Brown over receiving yards prop. AJ Brown over 82 and a half receiving yards. No, maybe his prop is more, I don't know. Where do you think the trade war is going to go? Well, I mean, Trump has shown that we would assume that he wants Canada to join the United States. So if that's the case, I would say it's probably not the end of the trade war, if that is the case. But I mean, that what that person just said, I kind of agree. I think he's going to focus more so on putting tariffs onto China, excuse me. And the markets react a lot better when he tariffs China. It doesn't really affect them as much. Great. Will Greenland be ours by the end of his term? Yeah, and I would imagine. I think that's one where Trump's got to put his foot down and get Greenland. I could see the European Union trying to stand up against it. I think a lot of it's posturing, and a lot of it is Denmark trying to get money for. Because honestly, Denmark, you could make an argument they really have no rights to getting any money for giving up Greenland because Greenland already wants to be independent as it is. So why should they get anything? Well, they're doing this posturing now where they're like, we love Greenland now, and they're just doing it because they want money. So they're acting like they love Greenland, and Greenland is a big part of Denmark and stuff. When I mean, they signed into law in 2009. Basically, it granted Greenland full independence outside of owning a military. And they could barely own a military anyways with their population. They're basically already independent outside of just it being. I mean, technically, Denmark could, I guess, go onto their continent, but they just don't have the resources to do it, or go onto their country. They just don't have the resources to do it. Eagles or Chiefs? I'll take the Eagles, man. If we took Canada, how many states would that be worth? How would voting look like? Well, I would imagine they would get cut into three states, and the three upper territories. Canada has provinces in the south and territories in the north, because the territories are territories mainly because they don't have population. I think the three territories would stay territories, and then they would divide up the bottom part of Canada into states, like three different states likely, and they'd all be roughly, well, it depends how they're divided up, but the total electoral votes I think would be like somewhere around California's range, which is a problem for Republicans if that happened. But it's like their population is around California. It's like similar to California's. How do you estimate the Panama Canal situation plays out? Well, I don't know if you guys saw, but it's already playing out well for Trump. And if this is all that happens, it's still a win. If you can get China's control away from the canal, which seems like they've already done. Rubio went to Panama, and I would imagine probably bullied them into just saying you need to end your diplomatic relationship with China, which is what they did. And so now it comes down to, does Trump want to push the issue if you get China out from having any influence within the Panama Canal? Because that's what Trump originally cited. Trump can already pitch it as a win because it is a win, or he could still go for the canal to try and. I mean, I think it's already a win at this point, but I just don't know if Trump actually wants the canal or not. Because the reason he cited, I mean, the thing that has to happen though is they have to give up the ports surrounding the canal that they own. I don't know if that was in the because they said they weren't going to continue that initiative, the Belt and Road Initiative, that big Chinese initiative that they originally signed with them in 2017. They picked China over Taiwan. They've got to ramp up the deportation numbers. Well, yeah, and I'll explain to you why it's like this. And I'm not trying to make excuses for Trump, but they're still going. And I saw somebody in the comments say they're still going after the criminals, the hardened criminals. They're about to cast a much wider net, meaning their deportation numbers are going to go up significantly. Watching Canadian YouTubers, they are saying Trump caved. Wait, they're saying Trump caved into the. Yeah, that's not true at all. No, if anything, they mischaracterized Trump, and Trump took it easy on Canada. But why would we cave in? We didn't give up anything. They're the ones that Trump, they made concessions and said, all right, we'll secure our border. What did the United States give up? You should do a video on the LA protests there, waving Mexican flags and wearing sombreros. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone has the same opinion of that. Those protests make no sense. I'd love for a liberal to explain to me, you're protesting being deported to a country that, like, it just doesn't make any sense. The dynamic of their protests are not. I don't get, you're protesting being you, so you hate this country but you don't want to leave this country for Mexico, but you're waving the Mexican flag. If you're waving the Mexican flag, shouldn't you want to go to Mexico then? And you hate this country because you're protesting it? So what are you protesting exactly? I don't know what they're protesting. If they're protesting getting sent back to Mexico, wouldn't you come out with American flags and say, no, we don't want to leave, we love this country? Their protests make no sense. What is going to happen with Vivek? Vivek is running for governor of Ohio. That's basically it. And he's probably going to be on social media a bunch, and that's about it. He's out of the Department of Government Efficiency. They're all Soros paid shills. A lot of them did look like they surround these cars and stuff, and it looks like it's just like actor mob. I don't know. It didn't look very authentic. He caved because his goal was the 51st state. Yeah, but that doesn't even make sense because if you actually read what happened, it's in 1 month it's being reviewed. So how can you say he caved if he might just tariff them anyways? See, this is the problem. If these people, they want to create a narrative that doesn't exist. Vivek might be governor of Ohio. Well, the early polls look good for him, but they're very early. But there are a lot of people that think Vivek is like, he's done. I mean, I think a lot of normal people that really don't pay attention to online politics probably still like Vivek, honestly. A lot of conservatives. Would you live in Ohio? There is no wokeness there, even if it's cold. Well, I mean, it depends. The whole wokeness thing is dependent on cities, not necessarily states. I mean, you could live in upstate New York. You're not going to find any wokeness, but obviously New York City is a liberal. Although even in New York City, it's changing as well a little bit. Trudeau was saying the border was secure just the other day. Now he's, yeah, contemplating with addressing the border problems. Yeah, he obviously caved in because I mean it's obvious. I mean the United States is going to be a lot better place than either Canada or Mexico if there's a tariff situation and a trade war. Do you think the Browns will trade Miles Garrett? They're saying they're not going to, but that could just be they want to get the best offer. I mean, I think they should trade Miles Garrett, honestly. He's got 2 years left on his contract. He's already 29. It depends, though. Pass rushers can play, they can be in their prime mid 30s. But I just think the Browns, they have an okay team to where if they get a young quarterback, they might be able to win 6 or 7 games. But even if they win 6 or 7 games next year, then Miles Garrett's going to be 30, 31. But I think they need at least 2 first round picks and like mid first round picks, not late first round picks if they're going to trade him. Or it's either, this is the thing with Miles Garrett, it's either a trade this offseason or a contract extension because he's got 2 years left on his deal. So then extend him another 3 years, and I think that would be fine. Or trade him and get enough value. You can't have him for these 2 years and then let him walk. Or trade him after this next year because then he's only got 1 year left. You're not saying Trump caved. I'm just reporting what Canadians YouTubers are saying. No, no, no. I understand, man. I mean, obviously they hate Trump, so everything that Trump does, they're going to put a negative spin on it. It's just the nature of politics. Patriots have the cap space to pay Garrett a monster contract instead of 100 million. Yeah, but what would the Patriots give up? The fucking like they have a top 10 pick. I don't know if they'd give that up. They need young receivers is what they need. You invested 1,200 into Doge during the dip yesterday. You invested 12. That's not too bad, man. I would like to see what Doge is at right now, honestly. Yeah, Doge is having a work. I mean, we knew everything was going to recover. Doge dipped down to 22, 23 cents. I mean, dude, Doge, I mean, you might get Doge to $2, maybe like a dollar 50, $1.70. $2 might be a little bit too much now. $8 million for a Super Bowl ad. A lot of AI sports. Oh, AI spots. Yeah, there's probably going to be a bunch of AI shit. The left is making the U.S. occupy Canada look like an invasion. In reality, you won't change a single thing except for more money in your wallet. Well, number we didn't even take over. I mean, how is it an invasion? We didn't take them over. But even if we did, them being a territory is very beneficial to them. I mean, it would be really good. But listen, they want to stay Canadians. It's understandable that they don't want to be Americans. If it's a national pride thing, I just wish they had national pride when it comes to immigration. But when it comes to immigration, it's already been ruined. The new DNC is the best case scenario for Republicans. Are you talking about Hogue and the younger like minorities and stuff? Yeah, they're just doing everything wrong there. It shouldn't really surprise anyone, or maybe it should. Maybe, but it's like, do they have really any young people there that are? I don't know if that's the best they can do with young people. It's not good. Eric Trump tweeted about crypto. Yeah, he tweeted about Ethereum. Thank goodness it was about Ethereum. No, it's good. It was good. They're buying up the Trump Foundation, the Trump family. They're buying up a ton of Ethereum, man. They bought hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Ethereum at this point. Thoughts on Trump pledging support for Ukraine in exchange for natural resources and rare earth? Well, is that really what happened? I thought Trump just demanded it because I saw that Trump said he wants rare earths from Ukraine, and I figured that was because we gave them a bunch of money. I mean, all of this is transactional, though. You have to understand with Ukraine, the United States giving Ukraine equipment to fight Russia, it's a strategical move in and of itself because it's weakening Russia, which is a foreign adversary. Now, I'm not saying, we should continue to do this and it's good to be involved in wars in Europe in general, but it's a little bit more nuanced than us just wasting money. But at this point, I mean, the war needs to be solved. I agree. And, we can try and extract something from them. Is Trump saying, well, we'll give you money now, but you have to give us stuff? That's what he said to Taiwan. If China does something to Taiwan, they'll help Taiwan, but Taiwan's going to have to give the United States something. Why is the Canadian border such a big deal when 0.2% of the fentanyl comes through it? Well, dude, that's what I was saying. That I was like, this makes no. I said that Trump's reason is very odd to me. Like a 25% tariff for that fentanyl coming over just doesn't make sense. That's why I thought he was going to try and make them the 51st state, or cripple them to the point where they would join the United States. Policy will get confirmed. Yeah, I know. It's good news there. They're all going to get confirmed. RFK Jr., Kash Patel. Will you stream March Madness? I think I should have a few March Madness streams. I do like March Madness just in terms of It's a nice time of the year. Why does he want Canada as the 51st so badly? Well, we get a bunch of natural resources for free, basically. I mean, it would definitely help us. There's no doubt about it. Super Bowl stream? Probably not, honestly, man. Did Trump have a promise he will never pardon Snowden? No, I don't think he said he was never going to pardon him, but I don't think he ever said he was going to pardon him either. What peak price do you think Trump coin is hitting? What did it even hit? I don't. What did it hit? $70? Yeah, I'd say $100 maybe. I guess it could go. It depends because there's going to be more coins dumped into circulation, so that's going to affect it. Any thoughts on the stupid Luka trade? Yeah, I think there had to have been something. I mean, I have no clue what happened there, man. That makes no sense for the Mavericks. I think the NBA said we need Luka on the Lakers. Our ratings suck. I mean, there's just no other way to that trade just makes no sense. I mean, why would you trade for a 31-year-old big man who's injury prone? You're trading a 25-year-old superstar who's more valuable. And it's like, well, they don't want to give him the supermax. That doesn't even make sense, though. It's like you don't trade a superstar who's 25 in the NBA. If U.S. takes Canada and Russia takes Ukraine, which country would have the bigger area of land? Probably still Russia. It's tough. Russia is distorted on a map. It's a lot smaller, and it's Russia is a lot smaller in real life. Greenland is a lot smaller in real life, and Africa is a lot bigger in real life. Um, the land size of Africa is just enormous. GM of the Mavs is the dumbest guy in sports history. Yeah, but did you see his press conference after the trade? He looked like he was clueless. I mean, it was like there's something seriously wrong with this. Some good recovery from yesterday. Giga Chad recovered over 22%. Yeah, well, I'm sure SPX did as well. I mean, yeah, you're going to see this recovery. Just wait for the recovery on the blue chippers. Do you think Trump will ever go after Hillary's 56K email scandal? I think that's old news. And Joe Biden's son, Hunter, and yeah, he can't go after the Bidens. He pardoned all of them. Dude, there's someone having a breakdown in the chat. There's someone having a meltdown in the chat. I mean, it's like, bro, you need to calm down. You just calm down. Take a Xanax. Who owns the Mavs? I don't know who it is, but I know Mark Cuban his shares are down to 6% or something. Apparently, he doesn't own them anymore. When is the bull run actually happening? I mean, it's gonna happen probably within the next few months, honestly. Yeah, this is probably the last drop. It better be. Uh. Oh man. Top five or three coins to purchase on Coinbase. Well, you mean Coinbase or Coinbase Wallet? Because on Coinbase Wallet, there's basically everything. Just on Coinbase, I would say it depends. Like higher caps, Mod Coin is good. SPX 6900. I mean, honestly, I don't use Coinbase a lot, but the SPX 6900 is going to do well. I think Mog will do well. I mean, I'm not in either one of them. I was, but those coins will do well, and I know you can definitely get those on Coinbase. If you expand it to the wallet, you could definitely get some lower caps. Pull up Polymarket. Yes, of course. What do you want to see on Polymarket, man? Seems like there's never anything on here. Russia capturing territory. Trump tariffs on China take effect by Friday, 96% chance. Joe Biden book deal in 2025. Yeah, well, apparently Joe Biden's talking about how he's doing a book on how he pardoned his entire family. He's trying to rub it in people's faces. I was asking you before, do you think Trump will release the Pizzagate story since he already released? I mean, I haven't heard anything on that. Well, I mean, every coin went up. Every coin's gonna have a rebound if it goes down significantly. Thoughts on potential Vance Rubio ticket for 2028? Yeah, I've heard a lot of mainstream internet stuff about Vance and Rubio being the ticket because of what Rubio has been doing recently. I mean, I think it's way too early for that. I've heard another one of Vance and Hegseth as well. I guess we'll see how well Hegseth does in this administration. Well because you donated to me, I'll take a look then, man. I mean, it's up 92%. Is this what you're talking about? Peking duck? Yeah, you know what? It's another pump fund coin. It's pretty typical. I need AI to block some of these. I don't know, man. It's kind of interesting what happened with my chat. I mean, my chat is normally, I don't know. It's like I used to have a lot of people that would be in here and we built some continuity, but now it's just all random. So you get a bunch of people saying some shit to me and stuff. But I mean, I used to have like, I mean, I don't know how many, but normally I get like 400 or 500 viewers, sometimes a little bit more. It depends if there's like an event or something. Not Rubio. Yeah, I mean, I mean, I like that Rubio has a no nonsense policy against China, but Rubio is very pro Israel. Trump just signed an executive order to ban all crypto except for Trump. I wonder what Trump's going to do if he's just going to dump all his coins out of the market once they get unlocked. Thoughts on Brian Kemp as a Georgia Senate candidate? Well, Georgia loves Brian Kemp. They love him more than Trump. I mean, Georgia's a different state now, though. It really is like a pure toss up or very slight lean Democrat just with the population shift there. So yeah, Brian Kemp would probably do pretty well. I know a lot of people don't like him though. They don't think he's MAGA enough. Although him and Trump kind of worked out whatever problem they had. I think that was mainly because the election was coming and Trump knew that Brian Kemp had a lot of weight in terms of like an endorsement. Am I a wrestling fan? No, not really, man. Should you buy this? I would not recommend. I mean, I you have to look at the community and stuff. I mean, you're buying at the top. But I mean, maybe it just is beginning. Maybe the run's just beginning. Will Trump run for a third term? I can't see it. I think the main problem is age. I mean, if Trump was like 68, I'll be honest, I think they the Republicans, the MAGA people would 100% try and do something to get Trump to run for a third term. But I think the age is like, you get up into the 80s now. I mean, people would still vote for Trump, especially if he has a decent term. But like the age is a huge thing. You think Harris will run again, or is she cooked? I don't think. I think the DNC, the establishment controls those people. They're basically robots. They don't have any like free will to do what they want. They're going to tell her. They're going to sit her down and say, "You're not running." I mean, this is absurd. If she runs, it's going to be it'll be embarrassing for her. Thoughts on Nvidia? I mean, it's already valued so high, dude. I would just. There's no point to me. I mean, you needed to get into Nvidia a while ago. All right, well, let's see if it's on here. You keep talking about it. Dude, you keep telling me about this coin. It's like I don't even know what it's had a few runs, I'm not gonna lie. We can't even see a market cap on it. What did it go to, like 1.8 million? Is that its high? I mean, this is yeah, we'll see what happens, man. Good luck to you. You always chill it. Nikki Haley run again. It won't matter. It's irrelevant. They've lost the party. The establishment lost the party to MAGA. So Nikki Haley running is doesn't matter. She's not. They would never pick her. The Republicans would never pick her. Thank you for the $1.99, brother. She has no political future. Yeah, remember when she came out against the H1Bs? That was kind of funny though. When do you start your stream on weeknights? Normally, well, it was 9 o'clock. Sometime I wanted to try and get it to like 6 or 7 o'clock, but it's just hard because if I do another video, I mean, listen, if I just do 3 videos a day, I could start at 7 o'clock. I think the plan is to start at 7 o'clock, but sometimes I start at 9 o'clock. But normally I'm like 9:30 at the latest, like 8 to 9. You keep talking about a 4 or 7x. How many X's have you made off of trading crypto? I mean, depends what coin. I mean, I made quite a few X's, honestly, man. There's a few coins that I was in that I would have made like a 3 or 400x, honestly. The best thing you can do is hold, but I mean, the problem is most people are buying coins that have $1 billion market caps. What do you think? You think it's gonna 300x? It's just not likely. I mean, the other problem is, dude, like this is the other issue is you'll get these older people in here and they'll be like, Bitcoin is the only thing. Well, dude, in 2014 when Bitcoin was at $100, you would say it's a scam. Now you're saying it's the only thing. It's at $1 trillion market cap, but you should have been buying it in 2014. So it's like these people, it's just there's no awareness when to invest into these things. Like you have to invest when the coins are low. It's like people just go with the herd, and that's why you get all these people, all these robots like investing into these normie like ADA, HBAR. I mean, these things will be like 10 or 15x chain link. I mean, the market caps are absurd. What is the coin? I guess the coin will go up if it depends how much money you want, but DeepSeek, really, you're shilling DeepSeek after that bullshit that they pulled? No, I'm kidding, man. Thoughts on Bruv? Really, Andrew Tate? You like Andrew Tate? Andrew Tate thinks he's gonna be the leader of the UK. He said he's basically confirmed he's gonna be the. I mean, he's trying to catch on to what Trump did. He thinks he can just catch on, or it's just a publicity stunt. It's a publicity stunt, I think. But the UK is so fucked up anyways. You were buying BTC in 2013. Yeah, I mean, the problem is then people sell it. That's the issue. It's harder to hold BTC for a decade than to buy it, in 2012, 2013. Bought at $142, didn't hold. So many cases. Yeah, so many cases. I mean, it's not surprising. Nobody knew what Bitcoin would have been, but there's a lot of people that bought really low, but then just sold. Or you sold off after the first bull run in like 2014. Have I been to the UK? I have not been to the UK, no. Do you think RFK would run again, possibly as a Republican, or would he be independent again? No, I don't think RFK is going to run for president again. I think he's done. His voice held him back, anyways, and he just I know some people are talking about it, but I mean, I said hypothetically if he like saves American health somehow in 4 years, then I guess, but it's just unlikely. Should. Yeah, I think this is like a Wojak ripoff thing. Yeah, it is. Let me look at it. Yeah, I mean, a coin like this could rip. You're buying pretty low too. It's 5 million. It's a decent market cap for a, a meme knockoff on Solana. I was in the Wojak Ethereum. I'm surprised the Wojak on Ethereum never went to 1 billion. I mean, maybe it will. Not that it really matters anymore. I'm not in it, but do you actually think putting money into meme coin is investing or just gambling? No, it's absolutely investing. Gambling is degeneracy. Gambling is bad. You shouldn't do it. And, people that, I gambled a few times, but now you go into meme coins, you go into crypto. These things have utility. It's different, dude. I used to gamble sometimes. It's all crap gambling. You shouldn't be gambling. That would be my. I would tell people don't gamble. It's a waste. It's a ripoff. Honestly. Why is Costco into DEI hires? Yeah, that's bad. I mean, it looks. Dude, Costco gets so much business though. It's mind numbing. You cannot go to Costco at any time where it's not crowded. It's out of control how crowded Costco is every day. I think they know they're just gonna get business anyways. Do you think all these smaller countries try to get the mainstream media on their side? Why do I think that? Because that's their only way they can win any type of posturing battle or trade war with the United States. They can't actually win it because they're not as big as the US. They don't have the power. So they have to do the whole Trump is bad, he's a dictator, and then the liberal media eats it up. Crypto is gambling. Well, go ahead. You know what, man? Put the fries in the. I'm kidding. Go ahead, make another 10-team parlay, brother. See, tell me how it works out for you. After second term, Trump will retire and spend time with Melania and family. Well, he's just going to be too old, I think. And plus, he can't run. It is what it is. So, even if they try and propose something, I just. A dictator threatens to take over the countries. Well, Trump can't be a dictator. We have checks and balances, anyways. Doesn't even matter. But Trump really, I mean, Trump hasn't threatened to take over anyone technically. It would be a diplomatic purchase of Greenland, and it would be an economic relationship with Canada. Well, you know what? If he invades with troops, then I guess we'll see. But he's not going to do that. Make Antarctica a territory of the United States. I mean, Antarctica right now really doesn't have a ton of value. It's just the climate is miserable. I looked into that because I wanted to see. There was a treaty that, I mean, it's a treaty, but there's a treaty that forbids it forbids any country from claiming ownership of Antarctica. It's just research purposes. I mean, you can try and mine stuff, but again, the climate is just so bad. There's no point in trying to do it. Did you hear the helicopter pilot was a lesbian? I didn't know she was a lesbian. But yeah, I mean, that's a DEI. You're right. Who remembers when the DNC infected were crying that Trump was going to be dictator on day one? Well, they're still calling him a dictator. Somebody in my chat just did that. Things you dislike about Trump administration so far? Well, the main thing that I've heard really is the lack of deportations. The rate of them's not high at all. It's funny about Jaguar made a video about you and now you're so much bigger. Yeah, that was a weird situation. I remember that. That was back, I think I had like 50,000 subscribers, and yeah, about 200,000 later. Yes, a lesbo pilot. Yeah, that's that. Well, no wonder they didn't want to release the name. No wonder they didn't want to release the name of because that was people were immediately going to say it. Trump was right even before they released who it was, the pilot. Trump was correct. You just call it out. Will the crypto bull run continue? Yeah, certainly. I mean, Bitcoin only dropped to like 93K. The market cap went back up. The total market cap went back up 4%. Need Elon to mention Grok. Well, are you in Grok 3 coin? I'm in that. We need it to release. I mean, if it releases, it'll go up. Wouldn't say being a lesbian makes you solely DEI hire if she was put in that position. Well, you know how it is with the Biden administration and representation of everyone. I'm sure you understand that, right? Trump wants government to buy TikTok. I think he wants Oracle to buy it. Trump will and can't run for a third term, but he'll still call the shots unofficially. Yeah, whoever runs is going to be an extension of the MAGA party. I mean, you think MAGA is going to go away? It's just going to be whoever Trump endorses is probably is going to be the nominee. That's why everyone thinks it's going to be Vance. Helicopter pilot was top 20. All right, man. Well, listen, you know what? We're on YouTube, but yeah, we can draw our own conclusions from these situations, and this is just there's like a yeah. Come on, man. What utility does Grok 3 have? Well, it's Elon Musk's new AI model, and it's potentially going to be the best one yet. He's gonna say it's better than DeepSeek, probably. Watching the Dems in the Senate confirmation hearings, just a bunch of cockblocks. Yeah. Well, they're pissed off at the big three nominees going through. It will be Rubio. I mean, a lot of people like Rubio. I know a lot of people are going. I know a lot of people are going for Rubio. How Loafcat? Yeah, Loafcat is pumping. I'll give you credit. Good for you, man. Man, it seems like it bottomed out pretty heavily. Went to around 14, 15 million. It's back down. Yeah, man, that's good accumulation if you're in that. Good for you. As a coin, though, yeah, it has utility as a coin. It's a meme coin. It's based off of it. It has a community. Hawk to a girl arrested, apparently. Is that real? You're asking about Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris, I mean, I don't know. It depends what you say, honestly. I mean, for me personally, I don't think it really matters because I don't have the chat on the screen and I can't, I'm just not, I just won't read it out if it's gonna affect, demonetize me. I know someone in the Senate, people are secretly happy about Cash. Yeah, dude, Cash is, he seems pretty impressive. He does. Alpha. This coin looks like it has utility. This looks like an AI project. It's a pump fund coin. You're buying at the top. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. This coin's over 100 million, bro. Come on. Maybe I got the wrong one. Where would you rank Trump all time? It's impossible. He just started his second term. It's impossible to rank him. When will Solana recover? I mean, Solana will be fine, dude. Solana will. I still think it'll probably. It might go to it might go to 1,000. Yeah, it'll still go to 1,000. I think Solana. Trump says Ukraine owes us their rare earth minerals. I know. I mean, it's because it's understandable. Trump's trying to get something out of the money we gave them. Yeah, it's and we want the rare earths from Greenland as well. Baby Yoda, I'm doing a video on that right now. Actually, that's a video that's coming out. Is dating over for most men? Yeah, it's tough with a lot of women expect you know, they get overinflated egos with the dating apps and everything, so it's just and it's just creating some really rotten women just with bad attitudes. Pepe, I think Pepe is probably at around like 4 billion right now. Well, let's just take a look and see. Let's take a look and see at the top. ADA is pumping pretty well. Yeah, Solana pumped 19% back up over $200. Shiba. Shiba's still around. Where is Shiba's community? Where's Pepe's community? Yeah, Pepe's at, what, 4.5 billion? Would Trump deserve his face on Mount Rushmore? Well, yeah, you see they proposed it. Nah, I mean, you can't give Trump that. Come on. Let's let Trump actually do some phenomenal stuff. And I think Trump's doing good stuff, but come on. Let's not over simp for Trump. It's just getting a bit, come on. It's getting a bit over the top. Ethereum is up 24%. Yeah, Ethereum is not going to die. That's a thing that these young kids have to realize. Ethereum is inevitable. Get the money back into Ethereum. Dating apps got commercials now. Saw one for the first time a few weeks ago. Yeah, it's not good with the dating apps, man. Yeah, I was trying to think of who even owns Shiba. How does Shiba even have a community? Right? I mean, someone was asking like where is Pepe's community even? But it is just such a massive meme. I mean, I guess I understand. But there's a lot of huge memes that aren't really very high in terms of market cap. I guess if you launch it correctly, you can get it, depending. Musk should take over YouTube so it becomes more free. Yeah, but they're not selling. Only guy you'll ever simp for he deserves Mount Rushmore. Well, let's see what he does his second term. I mean, he's gone through a lot. I'll agree with you there. The assassination attempt was crazy, and he is doing He's doing way more than he did his first term. He's moving at a really quick pace. Zelensky says he doesn't know where the money went. Yeah, I saw that. And I was just like, oh, Republicans are gonna love this. Thoughts on OnlyFans? I think it's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. What's your position on mining stocks? You mean like Bitcoin mining? I was in a few of those stocks, but I got out of them. Which Grok 3 is the right coin? It's the one on Solana. Yeah, the problem is there's multiple. The one that's at like I think it's around 200K market cap. Maybe it's at like 170 right now, if I remember correctly. That's the one I'm in. I mean, there's another one that actually has more of a community, but it doesn't show up really when you search it, so. Am I Gen Z? Yeah, I might have answered that already. YouTube got to be the most expensive social media. Oh, if you're buying it, yeah, it has to be. Yeah. No hoax investigation. Yeah. You know, I want to do a video just going back and looking at the Russian hoax and stuff. It's just so funny. Opinion on Robinhood? Are you talking about the meme coin? The hood ticker meme coin? I don't know. Apparently it's really bundled. Or are you just talking about the app in general? Thank you for the advice to buy crypto this morning. I bought before Mexico news and have to thank you. Nice, man. Yeah, and you should just hold for a while, I would say. Just hold for a while. As a Canadian, you think it's disrespectful for booing the United States national anthem? Has nothing to do with the people. Yeah, I saw they were booing it a few different times. That would kind of did seem like a bad look, honestly. I mean, they're like, oh, fuck the U.S., but I mean, it did seem kind of like a bad look. Did you see the DNC thing with Jen Psaki? No, I didn't. How come there was no insurrection when Trump won? Well, because they didn't take 4 days to count it and they didn't find votes up Trump's ass for him to win. That might be a reason. And some of these people love Trump. Jen Psaki came out against Elon Musk.
Payment system that is essentially the country's entire checkbook. I mean, the system is so
this is something they fearmongered now with Musk.
Sensitive that typically only a very small number of career officials have access to it. Paychecks to federal workers go through it. Social security checks and tax refunds go through it. And sensitive personal
this is why we've had so much government waste. Nobody can do anything about it.
Information about everyone who gets those payments is in there too. Well, yesterday, we learned that Elon Musk and his Doge posse have now been granted access to that federal payment system. So, yeah, I know this all sounds scary. And I'm not here to minimize the impacts of a president gutting the federal government and taking a wrecking ball to the Department of Justice. But that's why we're going to keep talking about it. Luckily, I do think the country is really.
They think it gets them views now. They can just talk about Trump being this horrible person. These people are delusional. I mean, it's just straight delusion. The Joe Biden coin went up. That is good. Dismantle the Department of Education. Trump has done everything he said he was going to do. He's knocked it out of the park. Yeah, I mean, we're still waiting for the Epstein list, and I mean, but it is early. It's early. If Canada and the EU ally against the United States, where does the US turn? The real question is, where does the EU turn if that happens, brother? They can't do that. They can't afford to lose the United States. They're not strong enough. They are not strong enough, man. If they lose the United States, and yeah, we could isolate and be fine. But imagine how bad it would be for the European countries if they lost us and we ended up making an alliance with Eastern countries. I mean, it would just be catastrophic for them. Huge protests in SoCal. Yeah, I know. I saw. They're getting really angry about Trump. I mean, these protests are going to die down, though. It's really irrelevant, anyways. Doesn't matter. Do you think that Trump has peaked too soon? That really doesn't. It doesn't. It's irrelevant when it comes to like being the president. Peaking too soon. Yeah, I mean, I mean, chances Vance wins in 2028. What do you want me to say, dude? I mean, I guess if Trump does well, Vance will probably have a good chance. But why am I going to speculate on Vance? It's just, I mean, there's no reason to really talk about 2028 when it pertains to like Vance winning or not. AOC already tried to introduce impeachment articles on Trump. Oh my goodness. It's already started. They could have tried to impeach Biden for like 50 different things, but no, it's got to be Trump now. A better chance of winning in 28, Trump Jr. or Jon Stewart. Yeah, probably Trump Jr., honestly, but I don't think Trump Jr. is going to. I'm not a big fan of Trump Jr. I think for a lot of people, they're not huge fans of Trump Jr. They kind of wanted to go to Trump, and then some. And then the next Trump will be Barron. A lot of people think that. Did you see the LA protests where the Mexicans were flying Mexican flags? It was disgusting. For the love of Mex. Yeah, no, I mean, those protests never make any sense. I mean, I understand national pride and everything like that, but you're protesting leaving the United States. Them by them waving the Mexican flag, it signals that they think Mexico is better and they love their country, when it's the exact opposite. You're protesting to avoid going back to the country of the flag that you're waving. Massive Dem voter fraud. Well, I mean, their voter fraud is it doesn't even matter if there's voter fraud or not. They're the ones that actively are trying to allow voter fraud by not having the national voter ID, which all European countries already have. Um, that's something that I think Trump really needs to hit him on, because that's going to be very popular with independents. It's going to be embarrassing watching some of these Democrats in these states say, no, we're not agreeing to it. Dems cheated in Orange County, California, flipped seat for. Yeah, the Dems counting in California was crazy this cycle. They took like a month and a half to count. Hockey. I know Alex has gotten a lot of that. Hockey. I'd like to have a conversation off of YouTube about those guys and stuff. I mean, I've seen a lot of it. A lot of it's just like it's not very nuanced anymore. The arguments, it's like I don't know, but I understand, because Alex Jones always says globalists. Nobody even cares about Diddy anymore. Well, I mean, that's kind of what happens when you go to jail and it's the news cycle. I mean, but there's gonna have to be some stuff that comes out about that. Mainly the people that were at his parties, similar to the Epstein stuff. But I don't think those people are gonna be protected like the Epstein people are, because the Epstein people, they know it's a lot more powerful people in high places that actually affect government. So the Diddy stuff's probably gonna be more interesting. Coverage of the polls leading up to the election was so good. I appreciate that, man. The fans in the U.S. just need to laugh during the Canadian national anthem instead of booing. Yeah, I mean, I don't really, I don't, I wouldn't boo the Canadian national anthem. We don't need to do that. It's not necessary, But they're angry, obviously. The Canadians are, but I mean, this has been solved at least for a month. Yeah, but the pilot might have been DEI. They scrubbed all of her social media immediately after. Oh yeah, we already discussed this, man. Absolutely, Trump called it. I mean, that was a thing where even liberals have to admit, all right, Trump called this. I mean, this is as clear cut as it gets. Turkey or roast beef? I'd say turkey, man. Life is too short to beat around the bush about DEI. Well, I've called it out several times, man. I'm trying to call it out, and it's I mean, to be honest, Trump was 100% right on that. The Army subreddit mods warn people to not release the pilot's name. Well, you're not gonna be able to say anything on any Reddit site about that. They'll just ban you. There's no point of even trying. Piers with Tucker, yeah, I was gonna do a reaction to that interview. You know, it's one of those things to where it gets released, and then I wanted to do a reaction to it on Saturday night watching it, but I just never did it. So now it's like too late to do it. But I don't know, man. The thing with Tucker, it's just like there, his laugh is just like, come on, man. I mean, I know Tucker's like based now and everything like that. I get it, but it's like the laugh is just like the amount of sarcasm. Like if you're debating with Tucker, I mean, I'm surprised people don't say, "Dude, can you stop laughing, please?" Like you're a grown ass man. I like Tucker, I do, but it's like, I mean, you watch that interview. There's just a lot of like this sarcastic, fake laughing. But I mean, Piers Morgan did not argue properly at all, and then they went to World War II about how the and I mean the UK is in a terrible spot. I would agree with that. So it's like, well, you won, but look at your fucking country now. Are Canadians still booing the American national anthem? I mean, I don't know. Probably a lot less now that there's this deal in place. So the tariffs are not happening for at least a month. Yeah, Pepe, you probably got banned from that, bro. Debate is going around if it was moral for us to align with the Soviets, who would just turn on us. Well, the Soviets were fucking horrible. I mean, but the winners write history, so they're seen in a better light. But a lot of people don't know. The United States spent the most money out of any country on World War II, believe it or not. And a lot of that was through lend and lease to the Soviets. I mean, obviously the Soviets lost a fuck ton of soldiers. But I mean, obviously in that time frame, I mean, I understand, the type of people that are like, we aligned with the wrong people and stuff. There was a lot of land grabbing going with Nazi Germany, man. I don't know. Should the U.S. consider buying Yukon Northwest Territories for resources and leave the rest be? Well, the thing is I'm not. I haven't heard Trump say that at all. Yeah, I thought Trump should try and buy British Columbia, Yukon Northwest Territory, and Nunavut. I think Nunavut has more natural resources than Yukon or Northwest Territory. But I agree. I understand what you're saying, man. You want the three northern territories, and then you want Greenland, and you've got full control of the Arctic. I did a video on this. Definitely on Yukon and BC. Well, yeah, you get Yukon and BC, and you can connect to Alaska. Reddit is full of Canadians and Europeans. Everyone is always saying I'm not American, but it depends what part of Reddit you're on, and a lot of those people probably just lie anyways. Zelensky is definitely on the spot now, trying to account for all that dough. I mean, how did that even get found out? Why would Zelensky announce he doesn't know where what $100 billion went? I don't even know. Will Trump dissolve APAC? There's the with the dynamics right now with Israel and the Republican Party, that's not going to happen. Reddit is out of control. You had a clean account for 10 years and got a 3-day ban for saying women are bad leaders during a discussion. Yeah, you'll get banned for really anything, even though, I mean, it's not even bad. I don't know. Do you really want the Canadian version of LA, California? Vancouver's a shithole. Well, it's irrelevant. They're territories. They're not joining as states. Look at how the way I look at it with Puerto Rico and stuff. It's all for natural resources. It's these places are not going to be, that's why you split up and you just take the lowly populated, strategically take the lowly populated areas. You get natural resources, and they're not going to want to be a state anyways because they don't have the population for it. I mean, I guess British Columbia maybe has people, but if you add certain territories and one province like British Columbia, you're not turning them into states. They stay territories, or British Columbia goes from a province to a territory, and the other three stay territories. And you're really not adding anything to the United States. I don't really consider Puerto Rico as part of. I mean, when we're talking about voting and everything like that, they don't have senators, they don't have a governor, they don't get electoral votes. And those places would pay for themselves 10 times over because of the natural resources. Trudeau just needs to agree to Canada as 51 so they don't have to deal with tariffs. Yeah, but they don't want to do that. They want to stay Canadians. But I would, it's just like you bring them all in, that's an issue. But I'm saying strategically take territories. Wait, where's that coin at though? That's the thing. I'll be pissed off if this coin went past the Greenland coin. Yeah, this coin tanked, I guess, because of the tariffs. This coin tanked back down to 57K. Man, MLG, did I miss MLG? It's exactly not statehood, just resources. Northwest Territories, Yukon could be good. Yeah, but also Nunavut, I think, has the most resources out of those three, to be honest, dude. You want Nunavut because it's also within the same area in terms of the water passages as Greenland, because it's the furthest east, the furthest northeast out of any province or territory in Canada. So that's why you would want that one mainly. Puerto Rico was always in the talk about becoming the 51st state. Well, that's because it was the only realistic one. I mean, so obviously they're going to talk about if there's a territory that has certain population. But Greenland is not it can't be a state. It just doesn't have the population for it. No government in Canada. Outrageous situation. Well, they're in a bad spot. They're in a real bad spot. I mean, Greenland is holding up. It's like 200K. It's pumped. 224. MLK was cheating on his wife and having gay orgies. That's a guy that should be looked up to. Well, yeah, but with people, we can do a lot of revisionist history, but yeah, the MLK stuff that came out, there's a lot of people in history that are not going to hold up very well, but, you keep seeing articles of ICE deporting Puerto Rican U.S. citizens. Do you think there's anything to that? Well, what do you mean by that? They're deporting citizens of Puerto Rico that are in the United States, you're saying? I mean that seems like a non-story to me, man. Even if they are, how many even of those people are there? They're deporting them back to Puerto Rico? What do you think will come of some of the declassified files? The 9/11 stuff is what I'd be interested in because that's the one thing that Trump really hasn't. We haven't seen much on the 9/11 stuff that he said he was going to declassify. We haven't heard anything about it. Maybe it'll be maybe it'll be talked about in September. I don't know because everyone will be talking about that event and stuff. So crisis actors, what people from in America being deported to Puerto Rico? Do you think the Trump coin or tariffs are the worst for crypto? Well, I mean, the Trump coin, it was really the Melania coin that killed it, honestly. The Trump coin definitely hurt, but then things started to rebound really quickly, but then the Melania coin launch killed everything. But the tariffs, that was like the final capitulation, I think. The tariffs were the final one. Maple syrup, dude, I do not like maple syrup, man. We need answers to the drones. Yeah, you're not gonna get them. Did you hear what they said? They said that it was it's like a military operation or something, and there was just commercial aviation people flying them. It's all they didn't say anything on it. What got you into 9/11? Well, I was pretty. I got into 9/11 back in like 2018, 2019. Um, it just intrigues me. I guess the Titanic really intrigued me when I was younger, and then I did just a random video on it like a year, 2 years ago or so, and that's kind of what got me into it. I mean, that's definitely an interesting niche on YouTube. It's just very hard to get the videos monetized on there. But I want to do a video on 9/11 talking about the things that happened like the week before 9/11 within the Twin Towers. I think that'd be a pretty good video. ETH just cannot recover. It's recovering right now. You give it some time. Why do you think Canadians are so far left on social issues? Well, Canada is kind of it's kind of like it's kind of like Europe, honestly. Canada, they're just very soft people. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this live stream. I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get off. You know what's a good game? Outlast. Outlast is a really good game. Pretty big L for Trump. Yeah, but you have to understand, Lucky, you have to understand this is a 30-day window. So it's not even, and this is the thing, like, people will criticize Trump either way. If he puts the tariffs in, they'll be angry. If there's if Canada, says they'll do something to compromise, they're still angry. I mean, people are just going to be angry at Trump no matter what. This was something that Trump did because he wants to give, I guess, Canada time, and I think he saw what the tariffs did to the market. Why do all liberal women have colored hair and face piercings? They want to appear as ugly as possible, I think. That must be the goal, I guess.